The game that we've all been waiting for over the last couple of weeks. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Two of the best teams in the NFL going head to head in this Week 13 matchup. The San Francisco 49ers are coming into this game 10-1 with the best record in the NFC. Coming off of a dominating win versus the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. And they're going to be on the road facing the Baltimore Ravens, who are coming into this game 9-2. And although they don't have the best record in the AFC, I still consider the Baltimore Ravens the best team overall in the AFC conference. So we have two of the best teams from each conference and what could be a Super Bowl preview. Because we probably and pretty much could see both of these teams facing up in a rematch in the Super Bowl come February. Both of these teams are two of the best running football teams in the NFL. They run the ball out of so many different formations. They can run the ball anytime, any place. Doesn't matter. You set a date. It doesn't matter how good your defense is when it comes to stopping the run. It doesn't matter. They're still going to have success running the football. Both of these teams are two of the most dominating teams in the NFL. When you look at their average margin of victory, they're not just beating down terrible football teams. Both of these teams have beaten legit playoff teams. Legit teams. We're not talking about blowing out the Dolphins. We're not talking about blowing out the Redskins or any team like that. These two teams have blown out some pretty good teams. The Ravens blew out the Rams. So did the 49ers. The 49ers, although they didn't blow out the Rams as bad as the Ravens did on Monday Night Football a couple of days ago, but the 49ers beat the Rams so bad they forced the Rams to do a mid-season rebuild. The Ravens beat the Patriots in what pretty much was a dominating game for the Ravens. They blew out Houston and they blew out the Rams. The 49ers blew out Carolina and they blew out Green Bay. And a lot of people felt that Green Bay was going to beat the 49ers. A lot of people every week kept on saying the 49ers are not legit. The 49ers are a fluke and things like that. And all they do is just blow out opponents. So we are seeing two of the best teams in the NFL collide. Two of the best running teams in the NFL go head to head. Now, when we look at these offenses, both of these offenses are really good running the football, but they run the football in different ways. Now, the 49ers have four good halfbacks. They have Mostert, they have Breida, they have Coleman. They have a bunch of talented halfbacks on the roster, and pretty much every halfback that they have on the roster could end up being a starting halfback on majority of the NFL. And then when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, you got the two-headed rushing attack with Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram. And when you look at Lamar Jackson, I mean, in my opinion, Lamar Jackson is MVP at this point of the season. I mean, this dude is just sensational. This dude cannot be stopped. He's the epitome, he's the definition of a dual threat quarterback. He can throw the ball and he can run the football. And we saw what he did against the LA Rams. So going into this game, when we look at these two teams' defenses, now the Ravens have a pretty good defense. Marcus Peters looked like he is a pretty good addition to the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, Marcus Peters, ever since he got traded to the Ravens, has been an absolute stud. And for the 49ers, I mean, their defense, Nick Bosa looks like he could end up winning not only Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Defensive Player of the Year. You got Richard Sherman, who is playing like an all-pro. You got DeForest Buckner. You got Solomon Thomas, who is another key piece in there. And you got D Ford as well. Now, I think one player that would not be playing in this game for the 49ers that I think the 49ers would like to have in this game would be linebacker Quan Alexander. In a game like this versus a guy like Lamar Jackson, I think the 49ers are really going to miss Quan Alexander because he's one of the better linebackers in the NFL. He's good in coverage, and he also has very elite speed for a linebacker. And the 49ers are really going to miss having him in this game because of a guy like a Lamar Jackson with his athleticism and his speed, his ability to take it to the house at any point in the game. So I really think the 49ers not having Quan Alexander is going to be something that this 49ers defense is really going to miss. Now, the 49ers are one of the best probably the best pass rusher team in the NFL when you look at their front seven and you look at their defensive line with Nick Bosa, D Ford, and DeForest Buckner, but they're not good against the run. they're allowing 4.7 yards per carry, which, if you want to round that, that's basically they're allowing 5 yards per carry, which ranks them 26th in the NFL. They're also 20th in the NFL in rushing yards per game allowed. They've also have allowed over 133 rushing yards over the last 3 games. So if you're the San Francisco 49ers, our obvious weakness to your defense has been the ability to stop the run. Now, this is a Baltimore Ravens defense, on the other hand, that's one of the best teams in the NFL and stop the run. And they're pretty solid against the pass as well. So I'm going to be interested in seeing how the 49ers defensive coordinator finds a way to get this defense prepared to find a way to stop this rushing attack of the Baltimore Ravens, because I just don't think that is an obvious weakness you can ignore. Now, I know 49er fans are going to be like, we shut down Christian McCaffrey, but here's the thing. You're facing a Baltimore Ravens team that has a talented halfback in Mark Ingram, but not only do you have to deal with Mark Ingram, but you have to deal with the dual threat ability and the rushing ability of Lamar Jackson. That's the difference between facing a team like a Carolina Panthers team that doesn't have, that Kyle Allen isn't really a threat to do anything on the ground. They didn't have to face a Carolina Panthers team that had a Lamar Jackson. They had to face a Carolina Panthers team that just had Christian McCaffrey. That's all they had to worry about. Now this Baltimore Ravens rushing attack, you have to worry about Lamar Jackson and you have to worry about Mark Ingram. You also have to worry about the talented group of tight ends. Now, if you're the Baltimore Ravens defense, then you got to worry about, it's a lot of players you got to worry about. You got to worry about Deebo Samuel. You got to worry about him. I mean, Deebo Samuel, in my opinion, is obviously in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year because he's made a lot of good plays. And you got to worry about trying to find a way to stop these 4 talented halfbacks of the 49ers. Now, Tevin Coleman is more of a downhill rusher. Then you got guys like Mostert and you got guys like Matt Breida, who are guys who are also very fast but also can make you pay in the passing game. So both of these defensive coordinators are going to have to come up with some very good game plans and able to shut down the opposing team's offenses. And that's pretty much easier said than done. Because listen, a lot of fans, when I've been previewing these teams, always say we're going to end up stopping these teams. We're going to end up stopping the run. And what happens, these two teams end up running the football at will. So looking at my keys to victory, what both of these teams be able to do to win this game. For the 49ers, I think a big thing for them is getting out to a big lead early. Now, what people don't say about the Baltimore Ravens is that if you get a big lead on the Baltimore Ravens, then most of the time they struggle coming back because this is an offense that, although it's very good, it's not an offense that is built to come back from behind from large deficits. And now, I know a lot of Baltimore Ravens get irritated with people saying that, but the truth of the reality is, this Baltimore Ravens offense is hard to beat because they're so unpredictable with Lamar Jackson's dual threat ability and their ability to run the football. But if you're able to get out to a big lead early, and let's say the 49ers get up 21-0, or scrap that. Go back to the Cleveland game when the Ravens lost to the Browns. The Ravens were down by a pretty good margin. And since they were down so big, they had to abandon the run game. And they had to rely on Lamar Jackson to get them back into the game throwing the football. Now, I'm not saying Lamar Jackson isn't a capable passer or anything like that. But the strength of this San Francisco 49ers team is stopping the pass. And if you're able to stop the Baltimore Ravens with getting out to a big lead early and force the Baltimore Ravens to abandon the run game and have to get back into the game passing, then that plays into the 49ers' strength of their defense, which is their ability to get after the quarterback and stop the pass. This is a 49ers defense that is second behind the New England Patriots and pass yards per game allowed, and Richard Sherman is playing like an all-pro. So if you're the San Francisco 49ers and you're able to get out to a big lead early, then you have the Baltimore Ravens playing into the strength of your team, which is your ability to stop the pass and all the lead pass rushers that you have with your team. Now, the next thing the 49ers have to be able to do to win this game is they got to be able to get stops in the red zone. They have a pretty good red zone defense, and their defense is going to be tested versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Baltimore Ravens are one of the hardest teams in the NFL to stop when they get into the red zone because not only do you have to worry about Lamar Jackson's ability to scramble and throw the ball as well, but you also have to worry about Mark Ingram, and you have to worry about Mark Andrews, and you got to worry about all the other talented tight ends that they have on the roster, which is why it's so difficult to stop the Baltimore Ravens in the red zone. So if you're the San Francisco 49ers, you have to get the Baltimore Ravens going away with kicking field goals instead of walking away with touchdowns. Now, the Baltimore Ravens need to be able to do to win this game is they have to be able to run the football. The 49ers, this defense is more equipped to stop the pass than it is to stop the run. And the stats show that over the last 3 games, the 49ers are allowing 133 rushing yards per game. And they're allowing 4.7 yards per carry, which is 26 in the NFL. So if you're the Baltimore Ravens, you need to be able to run the football and keep the 49ers offense off the field. That's something that the Baltimore Ravens had to be able to do. You all had to be able to protect Lamar Jackson. Now, the Baltimore Ravens offensive line is pretty solid, but this is an offensive line that's really good at running the football and run blocking. So if they have to rely on this offensive line to protect Lamar Jackson and passing the football, then I think they might have a little bit of a tough time doing that with all the good, talented pass rushers that the 49ers have on the defensive side of the ball. And the last thing the Ravens had to be able to do is they had to be able to convert on third down. Now, the Baltimore Ravens have a pretty good third down offense, but the 49ers have one of the best third down defenses in all of the NFL. So the Baltimore Ravens had to be able to convert on third down and keep the chains moving and able to win this game. So the team that I'm going with to win this game, I'm going to take Baltimore to win this game. And here's why. It's 2 reasons. The 49ers are not good stopping the run. They're 20th in the NFL in rushing yards per game allowed. They have allowed over 133 rushing yards per game over the last 3 games. And this is not Christian McCaffrey. This is not the Carolina Panthers. This is a Baltimore Ravens team that you have to worry about Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram. You have to stop both of those guys. And no team in the NFL has been able to do that. The second thing is that the 49ers are going to be playing in another cold weather game. Right? So they have to play in Baltimore. We know it's going to be pretty cold. That's another thing that I'm taking into a factor. And we've seen this over the last couple of seasons that West Coast teams struggle when they have to play in cold weather environments. So that's another reason why I think Baltimore will win this game. But overall, the number one reason why I think Baltimore will win this game is because the 49ers have not really been that good stopping the run game over the last couple of weeks. They're allowing 133 rushing yards per game over the last 3 games, and they are allowing 4.7 yards per carry, which is 27th or 26th in the NFL. So that's obviously a weakness that I cannot overlook in this game. So I think this game could end up going either way, but the way I see it, the way the stats and the way that the 49ers have played on the defense side of the ball when it comes to stopping the run, I'm going to take Baltimore, because Baltimore does what the 49ers can't do on the defense side of the ball. The 49ers have struggled stopping the run, and the Baltimore Ravens can run the football. And you got a 49ers offense that's good running the football, but you have a Baltimore Ravens defense that's good at stopping the run. Now, I know the 49ers have ran the football on some talented teams, but overall, I think since the San Francisco 49ers run defense isn't that good, I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be able to run the football and control time possession and keep the San Francisco 49ers offense off the field. So the team that I'm going with to win this game, I already said I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens to win. I think the final score is going to be Baltimore 24, for the 49ers 20. I think this game is going to be very close. It's going to come down to the wire. But overall, I think Baltimore will be able to win this game simply for the fact that the 49ers have not been good when it comes to being able to stop the run over the last 3 games. So I'm taking Baltimore to win this game. Let me know who you guys think will win this game down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.